when we were small, we could manage, and we possibly did not know power of technology, to my mind. But it was all manageable with 5, 10, 20 people, and in 1-2 locations. We could manage. We had our set of challenges. Some of you may be having your set of challenges in terms of data, and especially in this kind of business, right? Most of us work around 1-2% net profits, and when you have 1-2% net profits, and we are talking, and some businesses may have gross margins as 2-3%. That's the reality. Yeah, Mr. Kapoor. And when we have such thin margin, it is extremely important we pick up the right cost and know exactly what's going on. And of course, we as an organization didn't have that data points when we were, of course, using the earlier technology. So as we grow up, we always need processes. Some of us may have multi-location, or may plan to grow to the next location, and may not be able to grow. All of us must be chicken and egg. I'm the one who's doing everything. How do I grow? How do I take it to the next level? And as I said, me as one of the classic example, one amongst you, we of course always delegated to our team, and believed in people and their capabilities, and keep investing in them and try to make them better leaders than myself. And that's how we have grown. And there came a stage when we started emphasizing on technology. So as I mentioned, from offline data collection to now, of course, once offline was really the Tally as a technology that we were using, and I believe most of us maybe today using Tally or maybe some other software at this point of time. And we as an organization, when we got into distribution, there was a time when when was this, about 2004, 2005, from Tally was in about 17 to 18 cities when organization had about 17, 18 branch. We used to get data from all the branches every day. As I mentioned, sometimes it was on email, it was on floppy disk. We used to consolidate, and we could not know, we did not know what is the credit at each locations. Our credit control was question mark, whether we have the right credit limit. We used to deal with more than 2,000 partners. Today, of course, we deal with 10,000 channel partners in 700 cities, and we had just honestly no clue in terms of how do we manage this credit and so on and so forth. And there came a time when we invested in a technology called IFS. IFS was a ERP from Sweden, and it was very rugged, one of the good ERP that is available, and that was available then. And that changed the whole gave a paradigm shift to the way we were doing business. Our controls changed. It was a huge investment. It was a big question mark. And we started with a budget of maybe in those days, of course, we invested almost 1 crore, and we were used to probably 2-3 lakhs, right? Like most of you must be having a question, how do I spend this kind of money? And we had a huge question mark, and we had to kind of probably it must have taken almost 1 year or 2 years of struggle before we decided that can we really get into this kind of investment. And it's not just the investment of capital, the investment in software, also the maintenance part of it, and the capabilities that you may, as an organization, may need in terms of maintaining internally, customization, and for the needs. So there was a big question mark. However, we thought there is just no way we can grow other than investing in this. And possibly that was one of our best decision ever in our business, and we possibly must have recovered whatever we invested, almost 1 crore, probably in a year's time. And we have no way to calculate how we recovered, but it must be all very, very absolutely intangible, in in terms of our controls, or the kind of leakages that must be there before we really invested. The leakages, the controls, the minutest expense management, the overall dynamic online availability of data, therefore proactive action, decision making from our end, it was just completely changed. So that was very, very, very important for us when we invested during those times. Also, of course, in our business, most of us have our profits, which is back end. It's not seen in the front, right? Most of us, when we sell, the profits are all sitting, and we have to claim from the vendors and maybe distributors in some of our cases. And if we don't have a handle on what we have to collect, then could be a big question mark in terms of whether we are actually making money, and there could be possible leakages. And what possibly with such rugged software, ERP, we could do is that we could have real-time transaction-wise rebates capturing, which is, I think, extremely fundamentally important. That every transaction you make, and there is a auto claim that happens to and gets debited to respective supplier, and you know exactly in that transaction how much profits you made, transaction-wise profit. And most of us maybe having miscommitments that you told me this while selling, and possibly your commitments have failed. Where in this case it's all auto. So that was one of the key things that was very much important for us. And today, possibly, if somebody knows the distribution, possibly the best, and the marriage of distribution and technology, which is ERP, I think the credit and possibly the best would be J.S. Kulkarni, who possibly is an industry veteran, who understands distribution. So it's not about only technology. So when we were discussing with JSK would talk your language. He was so compatible that he would talk the distribution language, distribution pain. All of us, whatever pain we would be going through, he was talking that language. And I said, wow, you know all of our problems. And so not only you get technology, but you get his consultancy as well. So do's and don'ts of distribution. A lot of things we thought that after 22 years of business, we know everything about distribution. For all of us to pick up and use technology to the fullest, and that's what, of course, Neoteric or any other distribution company today is using. Some of the partners are using. I understand Supreme from Chennai, Creative from Bombay, DataCare from Pune. Some of the other partners, I believe, are already using Navision in the country, and this is helping them. This is the single most tool, which is, I'm talking ERP, I'm not talking about Navision alone. Single most tool which is helping them to grow to the next level, multi-location, multi everything. And today some of these companies are 100, 150, 200 crores organized, and they're managing beautifully. So this is, of course, helping them. So it's not about you can afford, you as a distributor need it, but it's the other partners. I think the SI is also those who are not into distribution, reselling to the further community, probably even to the end customer. This has got a great tool with even the service availability, service software also, I guess, it is integrated. So service manageability, CRM manageability, I think it's all either part or optional function available on this platform. So all the distributors today of this size cannot think of being without an ERP, without such tool. We just can't think how we would have operated, how we used to operate during then. We possibly also honestly can't think how we used to operate with such a large investment of ERP that we had IFS 6-9 months back. And what it has changed significantly for us. And so if there is a right affordable investment, and affordability is always a question mark. What you're going to get in return, you don't know exactly. You can't really measure. But it's a plunge which is very, very important. As I mentioned, maybe if you guys can collectively somewhere negotiate for any tool. I'm not saying only Navision, but any particular tool as an association, which was done by Tirupur Association for that the textile garment manufacturers in Tirupur, and they did it with Ramco, as I understood, and it was probably 3,000 per user per license or something like that per month, or something like this, and they probably 100 or 1,000 of them bought it together and started using in Tirupur. The entire community started using, and they were using technology suddenly, like what I mentioned about Aurangabad, or the power of togetherness, and putting it on table. This can really work for, as I mentioned, for Microsoft also. It could be a big case study, and if you guys use it, it would be brilliant. And this has helped us. This will help everyone.